Finding all our need zones and trying to rediscover them all. I'll jump right in it. Since the reset and everything, I have went around my map trying to find the whitetail drink zones, and I'll kind of show you here what I've found so far. Let's start from the center lake up here. But I walked around the whole bank. I started there, rolled the time to 8:30, and walked around all the bodies of water, including the river, and went through. And like this lake, I found 3. Come over here, I found 2 over here. I found 2 over here. Found several different zones around this lake here. Basically went through, and what I've found is each rotation. Now, I haven't been calling any, very few whitetail. I did shoot a bunch right after the reset and everything. I shot a couple there on this lake, and then I found a bunch down here on this W lake, and they were all small and does. And what I was trying here was basically I was wiping out the zones, killing everything down there, trying to get them to spawn somewhere else. And it worked for erasing the zone. I haven't found any more deer down there. But at the same sense, this little purple spot is a turkey. I shot a turkey down there yesterday. But what I've found is, in my experience, now it might be different for you, but each day of sleep, I can only find about 10 zones. Now we need to find 60 zones on this map, because there are 60 whitetail drink zones on this map. So each day of sleep, I have only had 10 new zones pop up. So on that note, it's basically going to take 6 sleep cycles to find all your zones, hopefully. I've kind of got a unique deal, like right here on these 3 lakes here. I had absolutely 0 zones until yesterday, and as you can tell, I've got zones that are all popped up. That's mule deer and bighorn sheep, but that's bighorn sheep there. I got whitetail zones popped up on this lake here. This particular spot here where you see the sleep zone, I have 4 whitetail bucks with like 4 or 5 does. They all have the same exact body weight. They all have the same exact trophy score estimate rating. So in particular, I'm going to keep an eye on this particular area once I start calling, because it's just an oddity. Like I said, to have 4 whitetails, bucks, all in that area, and all of them are the same exact body weight, and all of them are the same exact trophy score rating, kind of, yeah, it gives me an alarm, But as you can tell, like I said, these purple areas here were like bighorn sheep, coyotes, lynxes, because I don't like to go a day without shooting something, just because I don't want to lose my consecutive harvest. So I'll shoot a couple things. What I've been doing is rolling from 8:30 in the morning, and I will literally search bodies of water all the way until 1800 at night, because their tracks will stay on the map for 24 hours. After 24 hours, their tracks and zones where they were at will disappear once you roll time again. So this is what I've been doing to try to uncover all of my zones. And like I said, you're going to have to visit places you've been previously, because I'm having zones pop up in places I've already visited, as new zones. So we are on day 5, I believe. And I do have, there's one lake in particular that I have an icon in the middle of the lake. And I'm trying to find it here. I've got an icon in the middle of the lake, but I have like 6 zones around this lake. I just got to find the icon. Got to find the lake. It's a small lake. This lake. This lake, I have zones all the way around this lake. And it seems like every single one I discover has that one icon. So I've got to check down here some more. This purple spot, I shot a mule deer down here, just because I didn't want it in the area. I've got whitetail down here, and I'm trying to keep the mule deer away, because I don't want mule deer zones as well. But as you can tell, the whitetail deer drink zone time. So just keep an eye on that. I've got friends that I've looked at their maps, and it seems like these real small lakes, if they got multiple drink zones around them, they're getting an icon popping up in the middle of the lake, basically. I think it's just because it's a room factor kind of thing. Don't want too many icons around a small body of water because you'd never see the lake. So we are, where are we? Let's see, find out where we're at. Yeah, I went to, so far I discovered a zone here today and here. Where else did I go? Went around this lake here. I discovered a bighorn sheep zone there and a white-tailed drink zone there today. Didn't find any new ones around that lake, but the lake that I'm on is, where's it at again? Daggone it. It's this one. Like I said, I found one here, and I've got some whitetail drinking over here, but didn't pop a new zone, so it's kind of weird. But I'm gonna check the south side of this lake here. Like I said, I'm not shooting whitetail yet. I want to discover all my zones, because I do want, when I start calling them, I want them to return instead of shooting them and them taking a while to return to the zones, because I haven't found all my zones. So I will spend a lot of time running, a lot of times in this stage of the game. I tried Layton. I tried doing it on Layton Lake, and Layton Lake is just miserable. I think I've slept a total of, I don't know, probably 30 times on Layton, and I seem to only have whitetail in 2 spots on my Layton Lake map, and they're not on the water, they're up in the woods, and I call the deer out of them, and the bucks don't respawn. And I've got a couple different herds on Layton that are just does only. So I don't know what's going on in Layton. Mississippi, I ran around for a little while. I'm finding zones, but I'm finding a lot of herds with nothing but does in them. So I decided to come over here to Rancho and poke around and see what I can find on Rancho. Seems like I'm finding more zones here. And it's a little bit more consistent. But it is some of these lakes, like this one in particular, just going to be extremely hard to hunt because the banks are so steep you can't put tripods on them, and you can't really see them very well unless you're right on top of them. It makes for an extremely hard hunt. You know, this map in particular, I was doing my Great One grind on before the reset, and I had 9 different diamonds on this map, different, from different species. I had 2 bobcat, I had a bighorn sheep, 2 diamond whitetail, 2 or 3 diamond turkey, 2 diamond mule deer. You know, it's a situation where since the reset, I don't have any diamonds on this map at all. Okay, so don't have anything there, so let's go back down to the tent and we'll go the other way. The reason I'm doing that is because I've already scanned that northern part of the bank from the other lodge. Didn't see any herds there, so we're going to go down here and go the other way, see if I can find any new zones on the south side of the lake. But we are in the midst of trying to find all our zones. And this is a very, very painful process. I don't know how they set the engine up for respawns and all that. The days of your big herds, I think, is a thing of the past now. But I have noticed a couple different species. It's like there's just all in one big herd. Like on Mississippi, what was it? Mississippi in particular seemed like all my pigs were bunched up together on the map in one spot. This map, it seems like all my trying to think what it was. All my pheasant. Seems like all my pheasant were all bunched together. I had a little bit of an incident yesterday. I think I found their initial spawn point where they entered the map at, because my game literally froze up for a second and then would go and then freeze up, and it lasted for about 10 minutes. But I had pheasant tracks everywhere, and when I would, once it unfroze and I clicked on the tracks, it was like, I think I got up to 60, and none of the other tracks in that area was the same. It was just like 60 different birds. And I think it was their initial spawn point on the map that I had basically stumbled upon, because they started going everywhere. It's like they spawned in and then started heading to wherever they were going to go on the map. Like I said, I found the same thing with the there was a spot for the bighorn sheep. Did the same thing. You know, it was like game froze up as they were spawning in, and once they spawned in, they all just started heading in different directions. Um, it was like central point. Okay, where I'm standing, it spawns in, and it just looked like a face of a clock. They all just started heading in different directions. And as you can tell, it doesn't look like we got any new zones on this part of the lake. I'm going to go head up to the tent area. And that means I got this lake fully scanned. These two lakes out here, I have absolutely nothing on. I've got some on this lake here. Now this lake's got one icon, but I've got whitetail here, I've got whitetail over here, and whitetail in the middle. Don't have any on the small part of the lake. I walked this entire river bank the day of reset. Haven't done it since, so I've got to walk that yet. Like I said, I think I've got 6 more zones to find for today's rotation. Of course, no tracks, no nothing, so this lake is done. Let's see. I guess I will go down here. We'll start walking the river. I'll go to the east, travel back to the lodge, and then start heading west. Like I said, rancho is going to be a rough one to hunt because they're so scattered. And most of the lakes and stuff are just really, really, really hard to hunt because the stuff's so thick and the terrain is so steep, so you can't really put tripods or anything down, and by the time you see them, you're basically from here to that bush away from them, and it's just too late. I mean, by that point, they're gone. It sounds like we got some bighorn down here on the river. I don't really care about the bighorn right now. I just want my whitetail need zones is what I want. It was kind of frustrating because I was already up to about, I think it was 600 or 700 whitetail called off my map on that Great One grind, and I had 2 actual diamonds. I think I had shot 4 or 5 trolls. They said 3, but they weren't actual diamonds, they were trolls. So I was pretty close to, I think, the Great One actually spawning in, and then they went and reset it, and I just had ran out of time. There's a see what I'm saying? I'd walked this river, and I've got a whitetail need zone down here now, and he's max weight, so it's gonna be rough because there is no place to even get eyes on this without spooking them. But see, that's the one thing is once you go through their need zone time, like some of them start at 8, some of them start at 8:30. So I roll the time to 8:30, and it is now 14:40. So even though it's past their time, I can still find their zones even though they're not in it, which is one thing that right now I like to prefer to do. This way I'm not chasing them out of the zone, moving them down the, down around on the map too much. So Um, it's like I said, you have to go back and double check these areas and triple check them until you get all your zones discovered. From my understanding is, until you get all your zones discovered, when you start calling and working your herds and doing herd management and stuff, the whitetail will, if they do return to the map, they can go anywhere on the map, and they can go anywhere on the map, and they can or not return at all until you find all your zones. It can take them a little while to spawn back on the map. So this is the whole tedious grind, mule deer, that I am doing. Not really enjoyable or fun, but it is tedious. It's just very frustrating, and like Layton Lake, I tried Layton, and I've got majority of my zones on Layton. I believe. I mean, like I said, I got a couple spots there's whitetail, and that's pretty much it. I tried the red deer grind on Quattro, and when I first started out, I had a ton of 8 mythical red deer on Quattro. Started shooting them, and it literally took 30 sleep type cycles and rotations before they started reappearing on my map. I even had a diamond on my map, which I was going to leave, but I went ahead and took him off because shooting the diamonds can get the great one to spawn in. And I shot him, and I literally, on day 32 of the sleep cycle, I now have the level 4 return to the area where the diamond was, but the diamond has not returned yet. Even if he returned as an 8 mythical or whatnot, he still has not returned to that area. So I do not know, like I said, what. Oh, okay, there's the out of bounds. So we have went all the way to the border, and I have one zone there. So we'll go back to the lodge, go down, and head the other way. But yeah, so I don't know what kind of algorithm they used or whatever, or changed, what exact change they did, but I know that before it was, console, you're lucky to get, 10 or 15 animals in a rotation because of the fact that you had to jump, around here and there. And some of the spots that had more animals on it just took a little bit to get there because you couldn't put a tent close, you couldn't put tripods close, so it was really tedious. Console, it's harder on PS4, Xbox, because of the way the controller is. With a mouse, you've got micro adjustments that you can do, when you're aiming your rifle and whatnot and everything, and it's just a little faster because you got key bindings on there as well, so you can hit a key on the keyboard and your weapon comes up immediately. You don't have to scroll through a menu like you do on console. So yeah, PC would be a lot easier to do this on, but personally I like the PlayStation. I went through, it's like I said, there's some hard stuff to do. On console, it's a little harder. But on that note, it it will work eventually, work itself out, hopefully. But so this is pretty much what I've found is the this rotation was four. I should have 6 more zones to discover before I sleep again. And I hope I can find them. Sometimes they'll show up, sometimes they won't. Like I said, it's all a roll of the dice type of situation. Go with But go through and, like I said, you gotta do the searching. Like the Layton Lake, there's 40 drink zones that you need to find in total. That's what they have on the map. Rancho, there is 60. In Mississippi, there is 70. This is not from my own experience. This is from a couple people that I've been watching. Jaxie Beard, he works with the company, and he's said it a few times, and everything. So, it's information that's been put out there that I'm just kind of relaying the information. You go through and just doing this tedious searching and grinding. And, I really hope there's no more watering zones on this river, because I really, like, you can tell, you look at the terrain, and it is really extremely going to be a hard place to hunt, really. There's not going to be no easy way about it. Did find out yesterday you can, on PS4, you can actually put 16 tents up. You cannot put any more than that. And you can, I think it's the same with your tripods and tree stands, and blinds. I believe it's 16 in total. There's a mule deer drink zone. I haven't shot anything, and my finger is getting a little itchy. So oh, wait a minute. Let's scan all of these that wasn't there a second ago. Come on, I want to see that one in the back. That's where I'm talking the micro adjustment type things. I think that's a doe, isn't it? Okay. Looks like there's just one, and he's out at 182 yards, so we will, oh, wait a minute. I'm going to swap this out here for a minute. We'll move that up to there, so that way, 182, 0 for 164, and that should do him. See, if you notice in the right hand corner, you see me scrolling through the items there. As you push up on the D-pad and then use your left right directional buttons on the D-pad, you can scroll through the items to get to the one you want, and then just hit X and it'll select it. This is what I was kind of talking about on the see, there's another whitetail need zone, so now we need 4 more. Let's find out what the weight is on this. That's a doe. That's a small buck. What's this one? That's another doe. Okay. That's a muley. That is another muley. Where is that at? So that is right there on that corner. This is going to be aggravating. But we will go over here and we'll keep going, see if we got any more new whitetail zones over here, and we'll pick that mule deer up as well. Yeah, there's a muley. Yeah. And he was just a level 2. I mute the mic, it's because I'm coughing or whatever, and I don't want to cough in your ear, so. Yeah, mule deer, that's what I thought. Mule deer doe. Yeah, and of course I got knocked out by water trying to get around that murder bush. No tracks up there. Another murder bush. Come on. See, this is what I'm talking about. The bank is so steep. Oh, that's great. I'm going to have to go up and around because there is no way I'm going to make it on those rocks. It will slide me right down in the water, guaranteed. Alright, I am back. Oh, come on. Let's see. Yeah, gotta go around. Because that will slide me right off in the water and kill me deader than a doornail. Come on. Yep, this is what I don't like about the river. Because I gotta get past that. I gotta get past that crevice and on the other side before I can come down safely to skin the water's edge. So we are working on trying to discover them. And again, folks, like I said, my experiences, I found that when I sleep and I get about 10 new zones appearing on the map. So this is day 5 on trying to find my drink zones. This is the second time I have come down to the river, walked the entire bank of this river. First time I didn't have any zones down here, and this time I have found 2 whitetail zones, one there and one there. I really wish they wouldn't have put any whitetail zones on this river, to be honest with you, because like I said, this is going to be extremely hard, if not impossible, to hunt. So I think the best thing for me to do would be to possibly find tracks, find out where they go, see if they intersect anywhere, and just maybe try to put a tripod in that general location and try to catch them traveling through. I really don't like to hunt them traveling. I have done it in the past, but I don't like that moving shot, if at all possible. I would much rather have them standing still. So this is, see, yep, I'm going to drown. Yep, that's number 2. And if I am correct, and it stuck me back over there. Of course it did. Didn't stick me on the bank where I drowned. Oh, tack on it. Come on. Nope, get up there. This is what I was talking about, being extremely hard to hunt. It's hard to traverse, it's hard to God, that was just the sun's reflection off the water. Yeah, see, this is just so steep. It's just so steep, there is just no way. No way to even hunt this. And I still need to find 4 more zones. Or I can roll time again. Yeah, that dragging branch sound that you hear really gets aggravating. And oh, there's what it was. My scent killer had caught a branch. Yeah, if you do go through vegetation, you get that sound on the PS4 in particular. You can go through and scroll through your inventory, find out what items caught the branch, and it'll get rid of that dragging branch sound most of the time. There has been a few occasions where it was none of my gear, it was apparently my outfit. But most of the time it's been an item, you know, one of my inventory items. Let's see. See, this is going to be rough. I'll start walking so I don't slide off. So they can go down through here, looks like pretty easily. So there might be a zone down here. But this is what I'm saying, it's going to be hard, if not impossible, to even cull this area. A lot of people I've talked to said, you know, they've discovered most of their zones. I think they were up to 42 of their zones, and they were actually starting to cull some whitetail here and there. And they were having success with them returning to the map and spawning back in. Yes, yeah, that's too steep. I'll slide right off in the water. But this is what I'm saying. It's just the river bank is just too steep to be successful to even cull and herd manage. So I think if they come down, and as long as the great one's not there, I think I will just leave those alone. And possibly not even hunt them. The other thing too is if you have a zone that has 3 deer in it, let's say two males and a single doe, if you're going to call the 2 males, and you leave the single female, it will break the zone. The males will not return to that zone, so the zone won't disappear, because as I said, the doe is still there, but it will break that zone, and from what I understand, it will also break your respawns. So, you know, they won't return onto the map, and apparently any of them you call off the map will not return either, from what my understanding is. So, if you have a zone that has a single doe in it, because you've taken the 2 males out, then you know, it can be, you know, a situation where you need to take that doe out, and that way the zone doesn't get broke, or make the decision to leave those 2 bucks with that doe, and you know they're there, and just leave them. Don't even call them out. So that's going to be, you know, that's going to be a decisive call on your own choice, whether or not to call them or whatnot. See, this is so steep. The contour lines are so steep, there's just no way I'm going to be able to get around that bank at all. And I don't think there's any... I'm too far away to even see if there is. So I'm going to have to work my way down. And the bad part about it is I don't think I'm going to be able to get across all these valleys. So I guess we just go down, check around, and go back up. Yeah, the river is really hard. So, murder bush. Yeah, it was a murder bush. I ran into a murder bush. It's kind of like this area here. I mean, the deer can get down there. Problem is they can only get back out one way. So, if there is by chance any down here, need zone wise, then they can only get back out one way. So, and this ain't too bad here. Oh, looky there. There's a zone of something right here. Let's see, what is it? Bet it's whitetail. Nope, it's muleys. Okay. It's mule deer. I didn't want to find the mule deer. I want whitetail hunt. Mule deer just now. I hope I can find these other 4 zones before I have to roll time. And that has been the case too. Sometimes it's like, you know, I can't find the last 4 zones in the day. And so I just kind of go back through and just keep looking. I mean, my guesstimation is probably going to take at least, if you can find all 10, well, like I said, if that's the way it's working on your map, seems to be the way it's working on mine, so it'll probably take at least 8, 9, possibly 10 sleep cycles to possibly find out before you find all your zones. Like I said, see, rock's gonna be too steep there, so I gotta go up again. But yeah, finally these last 4 zones, I'll feel more comfortable. Frustrating that I'm finding zones on the river, but that's mule deer, not whitetail, so that doesn't count on the 10. So I need to try to find these last 4 before it gets dark. Because once it gets dark, it's hard to see tracks. We are there. We still got so much river to go. Yeah, I'm not going down there. I'm not going down there because it's too steep. Let's see, we got something here. What is this? Bighorn sheep. That's good to know. At least I know it ain't whitetail. At least I know it ain't whitetail. Looks like we got another zone up there, possibly. Maybe. But folks, that's pretty much what I found out is it's a situation where each time you sleep until you find all your zones, my experience has been about 10 zones per sleep cycle. On an average, it's been pretty consistent. 10, at least 10. Maybe a little lower, maybe a little higher, but the big thing is to find all your zones before you start your grind. That is the most important thing if you want to be able to successfully call your herds and your do herd management and get your respawns pretty much immediately. That's one thing you want to make sure you have all your zones discovered. And again, there is 60 watering zones on this map for whitetail. So either get a sheet of paper and an ink pen and just put tally marks when you find the zone. Don't shoot any out of the zone, because if you shoot and erase the zone, then that takes the zone away if you kill too many or whatever. So like I said, they won't respawn until you start finding the majority of your zones. They'll start respawning back in, but it's best if you can find all your zones first. So good luck and happy hunting.